Okay, well, let's get centered into our sacred space, surrounding ourselves with the spiritual tools that we use. And let's call in the sacred circles and light workers that have agreed to join us, support us in our work. And take a very deep breath. And let's go deep into our heart centers, leaving behind, setting aside all that came before now, setting aside our ego. And just breathe in the divine breath, going deeper and deeper into our hearts, knowing we are connected above to the cosmic womb of all creation. And we're connected below to Mother Earth, the creation of all our earth forms, all systems that support Earth and support us. And let's set our intention, connect to our higher selves. And when we journey, we know we are in a safe space. We're calling in the PTOs to surround us, surround our circle, surround our planet, and remove all the dark energies from our path. And let's take another deep breath to go deeper into our hearts, where there is unlimited, infinite wisdom. And everything we need to know is available. We are connected through our hearts to each other and to those who follow us in our circles, even though they're not here today. They are with us, they support us, and we are all connected. And in this sacred space, we are now open to share.
Thank you, Sue. So let's place ourselves in the circle, where you are, name, and what is it that you want to add to the field as part of that design of the circle today, the field. I'll go first. Sharon, Raji, Maynard, Woodby Island. We have sun today. Yesterday was pretty chilly. I love that there's sun. I'm enjoying getting up a bit earlier because of the sun. And I want to add stability. And Arlie?
I'm in Eastbourne, New Zealand. It is an overcast, windy, blustery day. We're definitely heading into autumn. We have drama going on here. My hot water heater went out, and since it runs my underfloor heating and everything else in the house, it's an issue. So a guy came over at 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. He came back yesterday from 8 o'clock in the morning, bright and early in the morning, was here till 5. He's here now. So if I suddenly duck out, that's because I'm needed back there. So I would like to bring to the circle that feeling of satisfaction you get when things are being taken care of and you feel the lessening, the leaving of the trepidation you had when you thought the house was going to blow up, you know? So that feeling of calm when things are being well taken care of, I'd like to bring to the circle. And I would like to call on Cinda.
Portland, Oregon. It's been raining here for the last couple of days, but I was able to get out while it was still sunny and walk my dog. And my husband's been out of town, so I've had the house to myself, which I love. And he just called and said, "See you in 5 hours." And I'm like, okay. Anyway, yay. I would love to bring an angelic presence into the circle. And Sue, back to you.
I'm not sure. So last week, I just had the most amazing experience of divine feminine, and it almost beyond words. So I'm going to bring in our divine feminine, and hopefully it'll just show up at some point in time for each of us, because oh my gosh, it was just so amazing. And I'm complete.
Okay, so let's go around and just whatever is on your heart and in your mind, and whatever you might want to share, either what's up or what you've come to or been going through. So let's start with you, Cinda.
I've been doing a little bit of thinking about healing of self and others. I mean, I just believe so powerfully and so fully and so strongly that healing can be instantaneous. And of course, in order to make that happen, you have to believe in what is this time that's vertical versus horizontal. And you have to learn to not make it be, you just have to raise the frequency of what is possible. And I'm not saying this because I'm just trying to, that there's something that I personally need to heal, but I'm just really in a space of wanting to fully embrace what healing of self and others means for self and others. It's just really I'm in it. Maybe it's because, when I'm home alone, you feel vulnerable a little bit about the people that have left you, and are they safe, and are they going to be okay? And, prayers, guardian circles around them. And then now they're traveling back. They were snowmobiling up at our cabin in the middle of winter, and they got up there really late at night on Friday night, and they had to travel in on snowmobile for 10 hours, and they got there and the whole house is buried in snow. Anyway, so I'm like, oh my God, it's just like hypothermia. And they were able to call me once they dug their way in. So I just have been thinking a lot about that instantaneous healing. So kind of, Arlie.
Well, I've already told you the saga of the hot water heater. So Cinda, I'm right there with you on healing and thinking about healing and what does healing mean. I've been using the techniques that Sharon has taught me. And I've been being presented with all kinds of people that I can practice on. And some of them are perfectly willing to give me feedback too, which I think is an inestimable gift. Yeah, so there's just so much to be happy for. I think it's really only fair to mention here that you can keep your sunny days and overcast days for me. I am definitely a person who appreciates the moon and cloud cover. That's a really good thing. So I'd like to hand it over to Sue.
Let's just welcome Angelica. Angelica, we're just saying how we're doing. So Sue is on, as you heard. Welcome.
Well, today, this morning's weather has been very strange. There is snow on Tiger Mountain, which I can see from my window here. And we've had sunshine and we've had hail and we had a little rain and it's been really cold. And now it's totally overcast. So it's kind of like life. It's a mixture of everything. It seems like everything is going on all the time, all at once. And I feel like I go from this amazing, ecstatic, spiritual state of being back to reading something about the news. And I don't have to read about the news. I just hear about it, or I just remember something, or I just figure it's still going on. And it's amazing how much it just drops me like a rock. And that going back and forth is really hard. Since it's been going on for so many years, I'm better at it. But it makes me really tired. So I spent a couple of days at my son's with 3 very loud kids and had a wonderful time and told them I just appreciate it so much. And it recharges my batteries, fills my heart to overflowing. And then I come home and I adjust to that, but that's not a big deal to adjust to. So there's been so in the circles and this other circles I'm in, there's so much, it feels like we're changing so much within ourselves. And I can hear it in each of you. And we're going through a lot. In 1 year's time, I bet nobody is the same person they were 1 year ago. I bet we are all very, very different people. And that's a lot of work. And we're still going forward. We're still embracing change. We're still seeking it out. So it makes me tired. It makes me tired. I had a plan for this morning for opening and it just disappeared. Just disappeared. As soon as I opened my mouth, it was like, where is it? Where was that center I really, really wanted? I don't know. So I'm embracing the unknown. I'm doing better with it. I love these circles. They keep me moving forward, which is what I need to do. So I am grateful today. And Angelique, welcome to our circle.
Thank you, Sue. I am so sorry that I'm too late, but there was a conversation with my sister-in-law concerning my mom. So I'm sorry. And I missed you, Sue, because I was so much looking forward to hearing you and to sharing your opening. And yeah, I feel awful about that, really. But yeah, this is what it is. And while I was talking to my sister-in-law, I thought, oh, we have to be there at 11. So I was mistaking about the time either. It's just 10 here now, and I just don't know. Things are different today, really. What can I say? I just feel sad about missing you, really. Yeah. And there's a lot going on here too. And it's also for me like jumping from one place into another, and there's so much different energies. And what you're saying about circles, yes, that's the same for me. And it's very uplifting to be here as well. And I love to be with you all and to see your lovely faces and to share what is in the moment. And then, yeah, in my family, there's so much going on and so much things, different things, that it's for me, I'm tired as well. And I feel that I have to stay and be in the middle of it. And when I am, I feel good, and I can change within a second, because there's so much happening around me and around everyone globally. I feel that too. And last week I have been in Drenthe, in the northeast part of the Netherlands, because there are the sacred stones, and I'm very, very much attached to their energies. And praying with those and being there is such a beautiful thing. And I was there on International Women's Day for a ceremony, which I initiated with a beautiful, lovely, dear friend of mine. We had a very small circle, but being there with our ancestors and with the energies of the stones, and it's so wonderful. So yeah, I'm here now again, and I feel a little homesick for the stones, to be with the stones and to stay there and to be there. And it's lovely seeing you. And again, I apologize for being late. Sorry for that. So my word for today is timeless. That's what comes. And I guess everyone has already been, so then I go back to Sharon. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I don't know how many of you get the glyphs that are sent out monthly. Probably you do. When we started the broadcasters, I took the values that had been declared at the Women's Grassroots Congress in March of 2012 and then made them into statements, because the values had been declared very powerfully by that group. And so then I make galactic glyphs, numerical formulas from that. And that's what we are broadcasting, those who have the physical circles. But as I'm hearing as we're talking today, I thought it would be valuable to bring these reality statements for March and April into this circle, so that we can claim this. And it might not determine, the next phase of what we journey, but I think this is the claiming that's really important. So here there are two reality statements, and I'll just take them. I'll speak the statement, take it through the reality shift, speak the statement, take it through the reality shift. So you can just kind of be with it, claim it, be the broadcaster, put it into the Tesla towers, wherever you feel to, put it into the trees, into the water, wherever you feel for that broadcasting to go further. I think, yes, Cinda.
Can you share your screen and can we look at the glyph as well? Feel the energy of the glyph while you read the reality statement? I think that could be really powerful.
Very good. Okay, here we go.
Thank you.
So there's two, whoops, there's two glyphs here. And so here's a glyph for family. And here's a glyph for change and travel. So you see, so there's two different types of glyphs for the two different reality statements. So, okay, here's the first one. I have gone through change easily, shedding what no longer serves me as doors open to my greater good. I have gone through change easily, shedding what no longer serves me as doors open to my greater good. And move my consciousness and the consciousness to everyone I'm connected to in love into that reality. We ask the tag of the PTO teams to deep six anything that is, has, or would keep us from that experience, keep our collective communities from that experience. We ask that our divine design teams evaluate the designs, our programs within our design, and assure that there is a program for the highest and best expression of that experience for all in our community. Download those codes into our first dimension and anchor the program in the fifth dimensional landscape of our life plan for this lifetime. This plan is chosen, it is designed, it is cleared, it is anchored, and it is activated. And so it is. Great love, protection, and healing surrounds myself and each individual in my family as our world shifts. Great love, protection, and healing surrounds myself and each individual in my family as our world shifts. Move my consciousness and the consciousness to all to whom I'm connected in love into that reality. We ask the tag and the PTO teams to deep six anything that is, has, or would keep it from us. We ask that our divine design teams create a program for the highest expression of that choice for ourselves and those in our community and family. Download those codes into our first dimensional field and anchor the program in our fifth dimensional life plan landscape. This experience is chosen, designed, anchored, and activated. And so it is. So there we go. There we go. Okay, so is there anything anyone wants to say before we journey and see where our teams want us to be?
I think that's brilliant that you brought those reality statements and the glyphs into Crystal Broadcasting. I mean, to just remind us why we're here and make sure we are all transmitting that like energy to collapse the time of the work that we're doing. I mean, I just think it's imperative. Thank you. Thank you. That was brilliant.
We've only been doing this 2 years. I've never done it that way before.
I know, why not? It was such a good idea. It almost like it should be there. You know, we should open up Crystal Broadcasters with the glyph and a reality statement.
And that might be like every month there's usually one reality and one type of glyph. And we could do that at the beginning. And we're certainly open to how this circle is evolving. And that sounds like a good idea. Yes, Angelique.
Is it so that we received these glyphs in the mail because I didn't receive it?
Actually, I send it out. You're probably not on my MailChimp list. So I will send
Okay.
out, I mean, I could put you on the MailChimp list for sure. But I will send this one out by way of email to the group that normally meets. And some of you are not on the MailChimp list because I haven't updated that particular list for a long time, but I'll put you on it. Okay, Angelique?
Thank you.
If I'm not on that list, could you put me on that list too, Sharon?
I will. Yeah, I
Thank
will.
you.
But there's 3 glyphs because each glyph goes underneath a crystal. And those 3 crystals go in the middle of a circle of earth stones. And you can put that circle of earth stones with the 3 crystals and the 3 monthly glyphs either in your home or outside. But if you can put it under a tree and use the tree as a amplifier of the energy, it's even more helpful. I have an island at the front of my house of a birch and with a birch tree in the middle of it. And that's where my circle of stones go.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll add that to remind people about that, Cinda. Thank you. Okay, are we ready?
And the intention is to amplify the energy of those glyphs and the numbers and the colors that Sharon comes up with each month under each crystal, encased in Gaia's energy, to just send it out. And the intention was to help collapse time and speed up time in order to have the work that is being done in the time travel and the guardian circles to speed up the work that's being done there. Was originally what we started this for, right, Sharon?
It was originally, we didn't have the guardian circles when we started. We did the time travel to eliminate old programming, and then with the freed up energy flow, we added the crystal broadcaster so they could pick up that energy right away. And then we added the guardian circles because as the energy of the new being broadcast was creating forms that needed protection. So that was the progression. Yeah. They all are working together in kind of in that way. Okay. So sitting within this circle that Sue has called together for us, that we have by intention added more intelligence and qualities into the field. We are so grateful for those participating with us, for our strengthening in our authority voice, the delight that comes as we work together. So know that your physical body is going to be held in that circle, that energy is going to be revitalized, strengthened, balanced, loved, and held as that essence you is called onto a journey with beings beyond our physical sight, your team. And there are concepts to either take into the future, concepts to bring from the future to the now, concepts to bring from this present into the past, wherever the broadcasting of what we are choosing of good, however that's being broadcast to be disseminated, is what we are here for. So notice your team, they're ready. They notice you and they know you're ready. We've claimed the sovereignty, we've claimed the stability, we've claimed letting go of what no longer works. So in this new energy space and field, travel today. And we'll see you back here when you're complete with what you're called to do. So blessings for now. Looks like we're back. Okay, so let's go around the circle then and share what it was that you experienced and brought back with you, holding space, for just maybe 30 seconds or 10 seconds or speech to really hear and claim and anchor each other's experience and journey. So Arlie, can we start with you?
Well, this one was short and sweet. I ended up in a round black circle with warm water. It was sloshing like a washing machine, those washing machines with the round glass front that you can look in. And I thought, oh, this is going to be about birthing new ideas and changes. And no, when I had that thought, the circle broke and the water rained down on the earth in a field that was dried brown plants, like an empty lot in a city, maybe, or a field that hasn't been taken care of and has been overgrazed and is just beginning to grow back. And I heard the message, pay attention to the microbes in the soil. So, and that was it. I was waiting to be taken somewhere else or shown the microbes or giving an idea of what to do and how to heal. So I came back and I wrote that down, and then I changed crystals out because I was holding a crystal and asked again. And I just got this vague thing about chemicals versus compost, but I felt the message is supposed to be so much bigger than that. And then I got this wisp of the microbes are diminishing, soil microbes are diminishing. And this would be a real problem because microbes allow the transfer of the nutrients into plants. So that part of the message I wasn't given. That's what I happen to know. And that's where I went, and that's what I did. I'd like to call on Angelique.
Thank you, Arlie. Um, I holding my crystals and asking them where to go. I was immediately in the stone site where I was last week with the sacred stones in Drenthe. And I saw the flowers we had put there laying still, the purple and the white and the sage and the other herbs in a beautiful bouquet laying on the stones. And this is such a familiar place. And I went there, and then the energies went very fast. And I see myself walking on the soil. Also, it was a brown soil. And the message there also was how important it is to recognize the soil where you're walking upon, the quality of the soil where you're walking upon. And this was also brown. It was a very brown, clay-like substance. And it was a path. And this path was on both sides, it was like a line with clear quartz crystals. So I was walking in between two lines of clear quartz crystals on this brown soil. And this was a path of earth, true earth, red, brown earth. And this path was not very wide, and it was connecting to a never-ending crystal network which also is connected to the ley lines of the sacred stones. So they all came together, and it's like a network of information and messages of the Mother Earth and of the crystal beings. And the sites went further, and it went from Drenthe to Germany, and from Germany to Ireland, and from Ireland to Bretagne and France, and so on and on globally. So I saw this whole network connecting. And the message also was, it connects us all brothers and sisters from the 4 directions. And these wires are transmitting the messages. And then there was a crescendo of tones, of crystal tones, like music, but it's a music we never hear like music. It's like the tones, and they are coming together, and this is where it ends. Thank you so much, Aho. And I go to Sue.
Thank you, Angelique. So when I closed my eyes, I went into a place of power. And what it feels like is that we're all being asked to claim our sovereignty, claim our power. So when we make our reality statements, we're actually claiming it. And that these stone structures are holding wisdom and information and are or going to be releasing more. And I saw my work change a little bit just by being more in my power rather than working on being in my power. They're different. So what came to me was that it's not just fear, it's a fear system. It's not control over, it's a whole system of control over and a whole system of power over. And so when I am feeling something within myself and I want to identify it, feel it, but I also want to identify it as part of a whole system that humanity is experiencing. And it doesn't have an organic source. I've gotten this before, but this time it came in stronger. It doesn't have an organic source. Like our love and light has an organic source. And so we can dissolve it. If it can't be removed or doesn't need to be removed, it just needs to be dissolved. And so I was looking at our the systems, and the systems are brought to us by the parasitics. Parasitics lose all power when we break those systems, because then in order for us to break the systems, we have overcome our fear of. And when we have no more fear of, there is nothing to feed on for them, and it changes. Well, they dissipate. It's kind of like beam me up, Scotty, only it's like click and you are dissolved. So I was seeing how in my power, I have a greater effect in calling in the PTO, in calling in Deep Six, in calling in archangels and masters, guardian circles, light workers, from a place of power, feeling it, feeling the alignment, feeling the confidence and the grounded, being grounded in Earth Mother. So all of it together just felt like a system within myself to dissolve the darkness, to dissolve the dark systems. It felt good. Cinda.
Sue, I appreciated how you sort of took a little bit or had a little bit of each of us, because what I was doing is I was standing in my authority and in my sovereignty, and I was declaring and claiming my ability and power and all of that, exactly like you said. And then you're talking about the wisdom of the stones, which is what Angelique was talking about, and then the health of Gaia, which I think Arlie was talking about. And I just love it. I love that it's sort of like you were kind of maybe even tapping into this whole group. Yeah, so I just stood in the, when I also loved how Angelique's phone or something, you were talking about the symbols and the music that came in, and there was something in your background that kept playing music. And I thought, oh, sound effects. Yeah, so I really did. I just stood there allowing myself to sever and separate and release all energies. I did a lot of inner work. I was surprised that that's where I was, present moment, severing and separating, releasing and letting go anything in my past that doesn't serve me, my presence that doesn't serve me, in my energy field that doesn't serve me. And to just stand in the authority that that which is of my light can remain, that which is not has to leave. I'm done carrying it if it's not mine. And there's nothing that's hanging over my head. So it was just an opportunity to do another clearing when I'm not experiencing any weight of negativity around me. But it was so beautiful, and I just found myself reciting over and over again, I am whole, I am healed, I am holy, I am whole, I am healed, I am holy. Anyway, so just swimming in the beautiful energy of the angels. So Sharon.
Okay, so what I felt to do, I'm just going to hold a minute with that. Sorry. Swimming is good and holding good. So what I felt to do, they said, this is the broadcast time for broadcasting. And so broadcasting whatever the next phase is into the future of what what I'm being called to do. So I just did some reality shifts, some glyphs, and held that reality. So I did the Galactic to Gaia Odyssey has expanded to be the consciousness to foundation the new world. And then my conversations and visions with the unseen deepen to show more details, more specifics, as they are cocooned in the Guardian Circle protocol. And because I know I can't do what needs to be done if I'm the only one sharing the information of the galactic history. My intention is, but to begin creating teams or courses for those who will be TAG facilitators, teachers, galactic facilitators, teachers, that they can weave that into their work, but they can also share it, because I can't do it alone. So the Galactic to Gaia Odyssey team has transformed, I was going to say thousands, and they said, no, it will have transformed millions. And so those were so I was mainly just felt to put the visions that I've been sensing into words and programs for broadcasting into the future. So that's what I did. So thank you all. So anything that's coming up before we close the circle for any of you? All these, I mean, it happens every time, doesn't it? Where there is profoundly putting together, holding a vision, clearing a vision, every single time we meet in these circles. And I think it's becoming more fun, more fun, which is great. Angelique.
Yeah, I just briefly received your mail today. I didn't have opportunity to deeply read it, but can you share something about that, please?
Yeah, I've shared it with some of you in the circles. I was really felt to do some kind of a longer term event, like a 2-week daily, like I did a 9-day daily, and have had the opportunity to do a lot of my own inner blockages around that for the last 10 days, to see what shows up, and all of a sudden Saturday, it was like it just came together. This is what it's to be, blank, 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 blank. So it's just putting together another delivery system. Arlie's good about delivery systems, pointing out that the nanotechnology has many delivery systems, and they're already being delivered. Vaccine is another one, but we already got the delivery systems in place. So delivery systems. So sharing and inviting about the Gaia piece, the information about the galactic worlds as it applies. It's another way to get some basic information out there, to start thinking, to build a fire. Those of you who are in the year-long curriculum, we will cover all of it much more deeply. And so this is just a freebie. Every Monday, I'm going to be sending out something in relationship to the galactic history, and specifically around healing maternal wounds. So it'll come through my email list, really. So if you're not on my regular email list, I can put you there. That's not the same as the crystals broadcasters. So and I'll be sharing it by way of Facebook too, but there's a lot who aren't on Facebook. But it's not something that you need to sign up for and except be on my mailing list. It's not anything to pay for. It's just another way to get more information out, to seed the field, because we need I'm hearing very clearly, we need to more broadly heal female psyche, and that's what is involved with this one. And we need to seed more often that there are there's galactic information that we need to get out there. Does that answer your question, Angela?
Yeah, it does, because it does resonate somewhere, and I cannot put a finger on it. See what I mean? So this is exactly what I love to hear, because it's all about more. It's like practicing. It's like practicing the muscle, something like that.
It is.
Is that all right? Is that what I?
muscles, also awakening it, speaking it in this language, and then speaking it in this language, and then speaking in a
Yeah.
different way. That's why I delivery system. So,
Thank you.
and it's the same with the, being the authority in our life. It's like once we understand to some degree that, oh my gosh, I have a role to play, I can participate in designing my life. Affirmations for me in '89, right? And that was a beginning place, but I was no way was I a master, but I was a seeker. And then I was a novice. And then as I practiced the authority voice, learned more about it, then you become a master in understanding and applying it and having experiential wisdom in it. So it's, and that's what all of you alluded to. And that's that's how you get that sense of a stronger and stronger authority voice, because you're doing and applying the laws, actually.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
And I just am feeling this, so I thought I'd say it. I am so grateful to Arlie and Angelique for being here. To have New Zealand represented and Europe represented. I mean, I get blown away every time you guys say where you're from, and I'm just like, wow. I mean, how can the oceans not be healed when we connect above it or under it? I mean, I'm just so grateful. I mean, because here Sue and Sharon and I were in the Pacific Northwest, and so I mean, it's such a beautiful high vibe place to be anyway. But I just am so grateful when the international group shows up.
Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly. And Arlie, it was that I said last time I'm the only one from the other side of the world, but that's not true. But what I actually meant is that I'm the only one not speaking English as a mother tongue, because you all speak English.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't.
Yep. You are
Normally.
exactly 12 hours time difference.
Yes, I
from
know
New
we do.
Zealand. Yeah. Now that the time has changed. Oh, and one other thing, Angelique, when you were talking about the music, the tones,
Yes.
I got this idea that maybe if you went to YouTube and you typed in ice music, and it's the sounds made by ice on canals in, I forget if it's Finland or where it is. It's the most beautiful tones in the
Yes.
world. I was wondering
know.
if that was what you might have been hearing.
Yes, also, but there are also undertones. They're very, very deep. They come from the earth. So they
Yes.
come really, really from the mother, from the womb. And it is with those icy tones, as you call them, all together. So it's like a crescendo of tones, and there's no words for it. I can't even put it into words, because it's something we don't hear normally.
Yep. Well,
We're
if
not
anyone
used-
wants to hear anything incredibly beautiful, YouTube ice music, which
Yes.
is the natural sounds of ice freezing and moving and whatever it does.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you could sink into meditation on that and not come out for a couple hours.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Arlie.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, really.
Well, and then on top of that, it's I was just introduced to plant music therapy. Have you guys heard of that? It's a woman who,
Yes.
yes? Did someone say
Yes.
yes? Okay.
Yes.
It's just so beautiful. It has, they attach these little electrodes to the plants, and they hear the music that the plants produce, and then they add it to background music. But plant music therapy is what the website was called.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. There was one time there was a woman in a circle, and she had a plant with her, and those microphone like things, and she attached it to the plants, and the plant didn't want to say anything. just didn't want to say anything. And then we just stopped like watching and waiting. And then all of a sudden the music came out. So it was hilarious.
A shy plant.
Plant.
Well, yeah, something.
That's
Mm.
funny.
Yeah.
Add in my little box here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sue. Really great job. I love that.
Yeah, that was
Mm.
lovely.
And you'll be
Oh.
able to hear it on the recording, Angelique.
I really want to do that. And I feel so sorry I wasn't there. But
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, I'm going to listen to you again and again and again. Yeah.
I'll be touching in with you know, we're going to keep doing that because it's really so wonderful to have different voices. Okay, loves, have a good week. I'll see you when I see you again. Sue, did you want?
Thank you.
I just saw the hand raise. I didn't know if that was sure. You're just saying bye and love, huh?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Butterfly hugs.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.